Jazz Sessions with Spha Madlalolese on Trans Africa Radio.
We want to say welcome. How are you, my girl?
Hello, I'm fine. I'm very fine.
Yeah, you look great. I like the hair.
Thank you. So do you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We try. Gosh. Okay. So I was struggling to think of questions for this particular interview because we've had you in studio before, and I also didn't want to talk about the win. Is it called the win or the achievement? What is it? It is a win, right? It's a win. You're a winner.
The accolade,
For the English. The accolade.
I would say it's a win.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
It is a win.
It is a
feels
win.
Like a win.
Yeah.
I feel like a winner.
Yes.
It's an accolade. I don't know if the word is achievement because I didn't do anything I didn't apply for it or anything.
Yeah.
But I would say it's a win and an accolade.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be a winner? You never expected it.
It feels amazing. Yeah, I never expected it. The day I found out was the day after I'd had one of my. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, it always happens.
I'm
like
over
that.
with this thing. I was having one of those bad industry days.
Yeah.
And, the next day I found out about it. It took a long time for it to settle in.
Yeah.
I had to tell my parents and just to make sure that I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to delve? Can you tell us what was happening in this bad day? Like, had you?
I think it was more of a creative bad day. Like I was
Okay.
just feeling frustrated with my process and
Progress.
No, I won't say necessarily progress, but just like the stuff you go through when you're in the midst of creating stuff.
Yeah. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've just joined us, we have Thandi Ntuli in the studio here at Trans Africa, and we're chatting about all things Standard Bank. I kept saying Standard Bank drove jazz.
But yes, that's relevant.
Yeah, that is sort of relevant, but not today. The Standard Bank Young Artist for Jazz, which she has been crowned for 2018. And just to give you some background, in 1981, the National Arts Festival, NAF, established the Young Artist Awards to acknowledge emerging young South African artists who demonstrate outstanding artistic talent. These prestigious awards are presented annually to deserving artists in the different disciplines, according them national exposure and acclaim. Standard Bank took over the sponsorship of the awards in 1984 and presented Young Artist Awards in all the major art disciplines, as well as and special recognition awards. For the past 33 years, the Standard Bank Youth Artist Awards have sought to recognize South African practitioners pushing the limits in their respective disciplines. The awards are regarded as the most illustrious art accolades in the country and recognize established but relatively young South Africans who have not yet necessarily achieved national exposure or acclaim. The awards represent a concerted and sustained effort on the part of the corporate South Africa to generate in a rich artistic legacy by identifying, honoring, and nurturing young and emerging South African artists. Goodness, so much George in the morning. But this young lady here is a winner, and it was announced earlier this week, yeah?
Yes, on Wednesday.
Okay, so take us all the way back. So I know that you were told way before this Wednesday, right?
So they actually tell. Well, I don't know about the other artists, but they told me before so that I could sort of start preparing, because what actually happens is that all the young artists present new work at the Grahamstown Arts Festival.
Okay.
I said Grahamstown.
You said Grahamstown. It's okay.
At the National Arts Festival in Grahamstown,
Yeah.
which takes place next July.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think I was being told that so that I can start preparing my thoughts around what I'd like to do and what I'd like to present. Obviously, because there's a lot of planning that goes into it. So they have to finalize the program soon. So they told me that then, but I had to keep it a secret.
Okay, and when is this? What month is this that they told you?
Just after Grahamstown.
Oh, goodness. So it's like July?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like, din, 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 din. How well can you keep a secret?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so the ulcers are gone now because the secret is out.
Okay, thank goodness. Don't like the ulcers, yeah. So so you go into an office and they're just like, okay, so listen, we were thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it was so bizarre. It was just like, it felt like a disciplinary hearing. Okay, well, if you've ever been like how I was in school, you'll know what a disciplinary hearing feels like, being called into the office.
Oh gosh.
And you just don't know why you're there, and then they have the conversation. And I was like, Alan Webster told me, the director of the Youth Jazz Festival told me about it, and I was just, at some point he realized that while he was talking, I was not even listening anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a great moment.
That's amazing. A great moment that you have to keep a secret from
and
everybody.
It's okay.
Basically,
I think it's okay. It's taught me about my keep secret skills.
Okay. And so I'm assuming you told your family, and how are their keep secret skills?
No, I told my parents.
Okay.
I only told my family closer to the time when we actually had to invite people to the award ceremony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been like, the secret's out now.
Yeah.
And what has the response been? I mean, I've been reading a lot of comments, and a lot of people have had a lot to say that's very positive about you getting this award. A lot of people saying it was about time, you're so deserving.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think people have been extremely supportive. I think the day after the award ceremony, I probably spent most of the day on Twitter responding to tweets. If I could respond to them, I'm sure I missed a few, but
yeah,
the love was just so overwhelming that people were so supportive of this, and it just humbled me to see how many people are really actually following my career and supporting my achievements.
Yeah.
Also, it's weird things happen. So, like, I bumped into some people yesterday. I went to watch a show, and people were giving me hugs, and I wasn't sure, do I know this person?
Are we friends?
And people
have we met?
Oh my gosh, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. And then
wow.
I'm like, I don't know if I know this person, because I sometimes forget people.
Okay.
So I was just very stressed, because I was like, but then I realized it's probably the award, and it's actually, I think this award is a bigger deal than I actually realized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to sort of go into the technicalities of getting this award. So it's not an award where you vote for. What's the process behind, being named a winner? Like what goes into?
So the National Arts Festival Committee, there's people who are part of the different disciplines, and they actually are watching for quite a while, because I found out that Alan Webster had been watching even back then when I went to perform at the Grahamstown Festival with my own outfit.
Yeah.
Had no idea that any such thing was happening. But so they actually watch you over the years, and they follow you closely. They follow your career, what you're doing outside of the Grahamstown Festival. So in that sense, I think it's an amazing award, because it's not based on, anything other than people who actually are following you closely.
Yeah.
Then they have a board that sort of votes, and he said it seemed to be a very unanimous decision.
Okay.
Which is also very humbling.
Yeah.
So you're basically like being watched by a big brother sort of figure who's just checking out your career, and
it's like stalkery, but not really.
Yeah, it's good stalky. Stalky. Yeah.
Stalky. Yeah. And this board, is it comprised of non-musicians or musicians, or people who are?
Okay. I think Alan Webster being part of the Youth Jazz Festival, and then there's people from the different disciplines sitting on the board as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess a portion of it would be your colleagues and people that work with you.
I don't think it's colleagues necessarily. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know of any of my colleagues who sit on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I was saying before you came in, for me, this is such an honor in the sense that we've sort of walked this journey together for a while.
Yeah.
After I stalkied you.
Yeah. How did you stalk me?
Remember when we were, when it was orientation, and I was like,
yes. You totally stalked me.
Yes, yeah. I totally stalked you, but it's okay. I wear that proudly.
It's okay. No, thank you for stalking me.
And how, for me, this is, this is such a beautiful time to, because you've been grinding and been working and put out such amazing work. And you're so deserving of this honor. So it's
Thank
great to
you.
interview and talk to you about this great chapter in your life. And
Thank you.
and I like to say
Full circle.
full circle, but also this is just the beginning,
Thank you.
It was to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
I feel that. So
Yes.
I feel it.
Yes. If you've just tuned into Trans Africa, you're listening to the Jazz Stations, and my name is Spha Madlalolese. I'm joined by the 2018 winner of the Standard Bank Young Musician. I keep wanting to say Standard Bank Joe of Jazz. The Standard Bank Young Musician for Jazz, Thandi Ntuli, who joins us to talk about being a winner and what it's felt like to win this incredible accolade.
This is Trans Africa Radio.
Of course, because we have the young lady here in the studio with us today for the second time here on Trans Africa Radio. But today we have her because she has just been given one of the most prestigious awards, if not the prestigious award of being the Standard Bank Young Artist for Jazz 2018. And off air, she was saying 201 AA is the song that your dad. It's the song that your dad is most proud of.
Yep.
And for those who don't know, why exactly do you think this is so?
Well, because I wrote the song for my parents.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
He loves the song, and I think also it's that the 145, the Mbaqanga feel that
Yeah.
he relates to a lot.
Yeah. The feeling of home, I guess, in
The
a lot of
feeling
ways.
home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Before that break, we were talking about the award and sort of how you went about getting the award and how it happened so abruptly, after a day that wasn't so great. And that's usually when we get our biggest blessings, like after
Absolutely.
a totally bad day when you feel like, I want to quit. And I know I've had many of those as well.
Sure.
But what are the responsibilities that come with being given this award?
I think for me, and I mean, it might sound weird, but in my head, my responsibility is to be deserving of the award.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like it is taking me to it's going to take me to a different level. And I think I just want to really operate at a different level of excellence.
Okay.
With this award. The people who've won it before me are people I really have admired and looked up to.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, for me, it's just a thing to say, okay, now we're doing this.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's weird to say, because people will be like, what do you mean now you're
Exactly,
doing this?
because you get it because you've been so excellent consistently, so.
Yeah. But you kind of, I think everyone knows themselves more, and I always know when I can do better or when I
do more,
work harder. So I think for me, I'm just like, right, I want to set new goals, push different boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think the responsibilities are the obvious ones, is not to be caught in
compromising
situations.
Yeah. But you're a good girl. I mean, you went to St. Mary's, you're a head girl. I mean, you're a good girl, right?
Yeah, I'm a good girl. Hello. Hi. I don't go to Hillbrow and throw fridges.
No, what's that?
No,
What's that? Who does that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you also mentioned one of the big sort of showcases of artists who've won this award is next year at the National Arts Festival.
Yes.
You get to sort of put together a band, or what does that entail?
So that will just mean that I will have different performances. So every year the Standard Bank Young Artist does a few performances at the Youth Jazz Festival, and it hasn't been finalized yet, so
okay.
I can't really say what it will be, but obviously definitely, because my album, the timing of this is amazing as well. My album is on its way out, so
okay.
I think that will be one of the things that I present at the Youth Jazz Festival.
Okay.
So it's worth everybody planning now to go to Grahamstown Arts Festival. It's one of my favorite festivals personally.
Yeah.
And I've said it to many people, but I think there's no festival where you get to interact so closely with the artists as that festival. And there's many people who can go to that festival, meet someone, get a masterclass, squeeze in a masterclass here and there. It's a great festival, but I think it's the whole city just comes alive with with arts. So people should start planning and definitely come through.
Yeah, not to say that the city is dead throughout the rest of the year. No, we're not saying that. Of course
no,
not.
No, never.
Never insinuating that about Grahamstown. I mean, it's popping. Okay, so I
wouldn't know. I've never been there.
Yeah, I don't think anyone goes except for that time of the year. But shade aside, it's also I haven't been in a while, but in the times that I've gone, it's also a lot of the artists and a lot of the young artist winners get to collaborate with with the artists that they've always wanted to.
Sure.
Bugani Dai, when he was
he worked with Soweto
Kinch. Have you thought about who it is that you'd want to collaborate with at all?
Not really
Okay.
yet. Yeah, not really yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream list maybe?
No.
You don't have a dream list?
I do, but
okay.
Not for radio.
It's for your personal journal at home.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to sort of break into your house and...
Yeah, so it's keeping that element of mystery. Come to the festival.
Okay, okay, great. You touched on the album, and I know you when she came into studio, she was like, "Oh, you're going to ask me about the album." But I have to, because the last time you were here, we spoke about it briefly, and so,
I know.
The people want to know.
The last time I was here, it was coming out in August.
These things happen, and I think a lot of people don't understand the process of that goes into making music, and to mastering music, mixing music, and just the creative process. And so I obviously understand as a practitioner, but it takes a long time. So there's no judgment. We just want to know where how much we can save so we can go out and get it.
Well, let's just say I'm mixing now, so.
Okay.
Pretty much it's out of my hands now.
Okay.
But I was hoping to release it at the end of this month, and I think I will be fine to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually and finally, and all promises
ultimately,
aside,
yeah.
And ultimately, I get tweeted direct messages. Hey, when is the album coming out?
Yeah.
And it's a blessing really to have so much anticipation for the album. But I just want people to know that I put a lot of love into it. So if it's taking long, it's not because nyantelela.
Yeah.
it's just that I really wanted it to be
great. Okay. And the album's still called Exiled, right?
It is still called Exiled.
Okay. And it is still all about love, right?
It's all about lots of things, yeah. Yeah. Nizavona.
Sizavona. Okay, you heard it straight from the lady's mouth. Album is due out at the end of this month, end of November, right?
Yeah.
So we can keep you to that. Also been seeing you've been doing a lot of, when you came in the first time here came into Trans Africa Radio, excuse me, you spoke briefly about some work that you've done with Sir LSG, who's a house sort of DJ and producer.
House producer.
Yeah. And that's been doing pretty well, yeah?
Been doing very well. I think a soulful house album that has got so much music put into it. He's collaborated with a lot of amazing artists. So it's funny that he's been around for a while, but that's his debut album.
Okay.
And he just put everything into it. There's strings, there's collaborations with artists from around the world, there's just live instrumentation, but it's really well blended to put the electronic things and the live things in a good way. So it's doing very well, been received very well. He's on tour now, I think, and he's been received very well.
Okay. And can we see you, because I know you co-produce the album, can we see you producing and doing a lot of that kind of work as opposed to being in front of the scenes?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think my first love is creating music.
Okay.
So I definitely do want to do a lot more studio work, working with other people. I've always wanted to be a songwriter for other people.
Yeah.
Because I don't always think I can write things for myself.
Yeah.
So that's definitely an area of interest for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should keep our ears on the ground for that.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've just tuned in, we're chatting to Thandi Ntuli, who's been with us since 10 a.m. She is also on a live chat on the Instagram. So shout out to everybody who's tuned into the live chat, who is also listening to the interview through the live chat. But we are on audio channel 609. Alternatively, you can listen to us on channel 872 on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Or you can just stream us, go old school, using our website, which is transafricaradio.net. If you have have any more questions, she's here for the next 17 minutes or so. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to send some love or share some love with us, do WhatsApp us on our WhatsApp line, which is 079-254-4329. Alternatively, you can tweet us on at TransAfrica872, or you can tweet me on my Twitter handle, which is at sparkling_M. If you have any nice things to say to this beautiful lady in yellow here today, going to be playing you now a song that she wrote and dedicated to her late gran. This one is entitled HD. Enjoy.
This is Trans Africa Radio.
If only you could hear the conversation that is happening
on the live feed.
The conversation that is happening on the live feed. I have Thandi Ntuli in studio, and if you have her on Instagram, please find her. There's an interesting conversation about lobola and all sorts of things, and how she'd like to be lobolaed with grand pianos. Hey, brothers, please, I hope you are saving there, because it's not cheap, those things. But we
actually, that joke I didn't invent that joke.
Okay.
It actually was a joke that Afrika Mkize came up with.
Okay.
So I inherited that destiny, you know.
Okay.
I was never asking for grand pianos.
Okay.
He just planted the seed in my mind.
Okay. And is that still something that you would prefer to have when you are being asked for dowry, or like?
I'm obviously just joking.
You're just kidding.
Obviously.
Okay. Okay. We're not going to go into what your requirements are. No. That's personal. That's personal. We do have 2 questions here from Langa Mavuso. Thank you so much for listening into the show. He's just tweeted to say that he's enjoying the show so much. And one of the 2 questions is, at Thandi Ntuli, what has been your biggest fail moment as a musician, and what inspired you to rise to the place that you're in now?
My biggest fail moment?
Yeah,
that's a nice question. Ooh, there are many. Let me try and think of one. What's the follow-up of the question? What's the biggest fail moment? And
what inspired you to rise to the place that you're in now?
Okay, so what inspired me to write in the place that I'm at now?
To rise to the place that you're
rise.
in. Yeah. So
Right.
Failure, and then you rose above.
I think, failure is a hard word, because I don't see things as failures. I just see them as postponements or whatever.
Yeah.
But one of the ones that I can remember is that when I was on my gap year, my initial intention was to study in the UK.
Okay.
And I didn't get into the university that I applied to get into.
Okay.
But in hindsight, I'm really glad that I studied in South Africa, because of what I think is happening in jazz locally is quite special.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be a part of what's happening in the jazz scene in South Africa. So I'd say that's a fail moment.
Okay.
What inspires me to rise, I guess, is just that I think there's just the sense that, I really was made for this. And so even when I have those moments where it's over, I quit, I don't want to see this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. I can't actually let it go. I sort of come back to it somehow.
Yeah.
And so what inspires me to do this is because I actually believe that I'm serving the world in this way.
Yeah.
I think it's my calling to do music. So as hard as it gets sometimes,
that is the thing that makes you
come back.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then his second question is, how has your collaboration with the Rebirth of the Cool influenced the creation of new music, if it has at all?
So the Rebirth of Cool is interesting because that project has actually pushed me to sing a lot more.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Which I'm so happy about.
Thank you. I mean, because it's so weird. And a lot of people have asked, why don't you sing so much? And I think... I guess I was just figuring out my voice in that sense. And also, I'm so different. I write so differently for vocal songs than I do for songs that are more driven by the piano compositionally. And so, it's sort of like, if you think of having split personalities almost.
Okay.
And that's the thing that I've just been trying to, figure out. I've been trying to... navigate my way through those 2 forms of writing music. So the Rebirth of Cool has really helped me to work on my vocal abilities a little bit more. and just understanding the differences with the actual instrument. What is different, what is required, things like learning lyrics, guys. Let us just send a shout out to all singers at this moment for such a thing as learning lyrics.
Yeah. I will say nothing else but yes.
Sure. What a wow.
Yeah.
But it's those kind of things, that kind of discipline, and it's actually really helped me to pay attention to what the words are saying in different songs a lot more, which really gives you a different way of approaching how you perform a song.
Yeah.
You know, just sometimes you are singing the words because, you know, we grew up in the township. We never used to learn the words. It's just like find your own words,
just like
put
make
them in.
up.
But then you actually listen to the lyrics and you're like, wow, that's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And it deserves to be interpreted in a certain way. So I think that's how it's influenced me, just in working on the vocal side of what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Langa, for those questions. I hope you were listening in for those answers. We don't have much time left with you. I wanted to ask you what you're up to for the rest of the year, all 2 months of it. Where can we see you next?
I am going to be performing in Pretoria on the 26th of November. Nicola Conte is doing a tour in South Africa, and I'm going to be opening for him then. Okay. I don't have many performances lined up, but the other things that will come out is the music.
Okay.
The music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is coming out at the end of this month.
Very soon, yeah.
Yes. Okay, and then I guess I'd like to close off. I'm being naughty, but there's a funny when we do the interviews, we sort of cut them into different segments, and there's a funny one that I like to play here of us discussing DMs and the kind of DMs that you get.
See, it doesn't help to be interviewed by your friend because you forget you're on radio.
No, but you know what? This is in context. If you listen to Trans Africa, you will hear
the context.
And I know. Obviously now that you've won this great award and stuff, I'm sure the DMs must be full, ne?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I haven't really checked the DMs much, but the DMs are consistent.
Okay. Yeah. Well, brothers, you heard for yourselves. She wants to be Lobola in grand pianos. So if you don't come correct, don't come at all. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
Don't slide.
I'm not getting married, please. I'm dedicating my life to this music.
To the music.
I'm joking.
Okay.
No, I must not joke so much, guys. Scrap everything. Just listen to everything I said about the music.
Yes, the music is the most important thing. Yeah. Where can people find you on the social media platforms if they'd like to find you?
Well, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter. Thandi Ntuli on all three.
Okay.
Thandi _Ntuli on Instagram, but Thandi Ntuli on all three.
Okay, and you will be posting upcoming performances.
All upcoming performances and noteworthy things as well, Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's been great to have you in studio. Thank you so much for making the time this Sunday morning. It's always a pleasure to have you here at Trans Africa Radio.
Me.
Wishing you all the best
Thank you so much.
With this new chapter of your life. And we will be supporting you and liking everything on your Instagram and all of the above.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure. Thank you to everyone who's listening to the show this morning. I have to love and leave you now. I'll leave you in the capable hands of Ranz, who comes in to do the Urban Echo. And she'll be playing you love songs from all over the continent of Africa. Thank you so much for the love, the questions. Shout out to Langa Mavuso. Shout out to Jerome Tace, who listens in diligently to the show every Sunday. We would be nothing without you. Have an amazing week going forward. God bless and bye-bye.
This is Trans Africa Radio.